All right. Hello, everyone. I am so excited for tonight's Zoom. I reached out to Elissa a little while ago and I was like, I need you to speak on my team Zoom. Thank you very much. And she graciously said she would. So I'm so thankful. And I'm just so excited for you guys to hear from her. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. But otherwise, Elissa, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. If you want to just start by just sharing your story. I know we kind of talked a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. So just take it away. Do whatever you feel.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna apologize in advance. This child is 3 weeks old and she's probably gonna cry while I'm on here. My husband's putting our toddler down for bed. So you guys are experiencing very real life right now from us. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. You can go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat if you are a mom. We have an almost 2-year-old and, like I said, a 3-week-old. And so as soon as he's done putting my toddler down, he will come grab the baby. So hopefully we can make it through this Zoom without too many hiccups. Okay, so like she said, my name's Elissa Bowman. I've been in the business, you guys, for a little over 9 years now. September will be 10 years. And I was 22 years old when I joined this business, knew nothing about network marketing, had not tried a single product. I was working a retail job. I had a college degree. I thought I would, climb up the corporate ladder. I had no intentions of ever working from home or anything like this. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate. I joined to make a little bit of extra cash and to lose some weight, and that was it. And then I got in and I started learning and I started sharing the products and I started seeing the potential of this industry, and the rest is history, you guys. 9 years in, and I'm so loyal to this company because it's changed our lives, but also because of who they are and who this company represents and the type of CEO and wife and family that we work for, you guys. And if you're newer, you might not understand that yet, but it speaks volumes that I've been here for 9 years and I've planted my flag here and this is home. So I hope you guys will make the decision that this is home for you too. So anyways, I joined as a 22-year-old. I went triple really fast, you guys. In 7 months, I went triple. And then I sat at triple for a couple of years before going presidential. And I sat at presidential again for a couple of years before I went ambassador. My 2.0 is currently triple diamond, and it has been a journey. I've been through every type of life with this business. I've been single, I've gone through breakups, I've been married, I've had babies, I've had miscarriages, I've had loss, I've had celebrations. I have worked this business through everything. And you guys, some of you have no idea why this business is even in your life yet. And you're not going to realize it for a few years, because I didn't know that all these things were going to happen to me. I didn't know all these things that I was going to need to move across the state of Texas to be with my now husband. I didn't know that we were going to have some of the loss that we had. And I didn't know that I was going to want to be home with my babies one day. It wasn't even something I was thinking about. It wasn't even on my radar. So just keep in mind that you may be joined for something so small, but God has something so much bigger in store for you that you haven't even seen yet. And that's why it's so important for you to stay consistent and stay disciplined, because you just don't know what's around the corner for your life. 2020 was obviously a very real example of this for most of us. We didn't have any idea 2020 was going to be what it was. So, okay, so moving on, I know Courtney kind of wanted me to touch on a few different things. Again, obviously being in for as long as I have been, I've been through every season. I've been through the seasons where I feel stuck. I've been through the seasons where I felt defeated. I've been through the seasons where I've been on top of the mountain. I've been through every part of that. And so for right now, tonight, I want to talk to you, those of you that feel stuck. Those of you that feel like maybe you're 5 steps behind where you thought you would be at this point. For those of you that are discouraged, maybe those of you that put out huge goals at the beginning of the year and you've slowly started to fade back and get a little bit quiet and maybe not be plugged in. And there's some of you probably watching the recording that aren't on right now because you are that person that have stepped back and you've been plugging in less. And so this is kind of directed towards you. And we actually did a Zoom like this for our team last night. I don't know if you guys know the Homer Simpson little GIF, the one where he's backing into the bushes. Okay, so we were talking about this with a huge group of our team that had said at the beginning of the year, we're going emerald, we're going diamond, and they were loud. And after conference, people were so pumped. And then over the last 30, 60 days, they start to, back into the bushes, whether it's self-doubt, whether it's comparison. You start seeing other people that were at your same rank and they're promoting and you're not, whatever the reason is, there is a huge tendency for people at this time of year to duck back into the bushes. And so I want to encourage you guys that when you feel discouraged, when you feel stuck, that's the time you have to lean in. That's the time you have to show up to Zooms when you don't want to. That's the time where you have to message your sponsor when you don't want to. You have to log into your eSuite and run your numbers for your chart, even when you don't want to know what it looks like. But you have to lean in when you feel discouraged. I see people all the time, they get discouraged, so they start showing up less, they start doing less, and then they're frustrated when they're not seeing progress. You can't do less and expect more. You have to lean in whenever you are in a season of feeling stuck. But I also want to give you guys, mom life. I want to give you guys this perspective. This is like the worst time of night for her. I feel so bad for doing this on your Zoom. I'm sorry.
Totally fine.
I know, I just feel bad. Okay, so I want to give you guys this perspective of being stuck though, instead of feeling like you are stuck, because honestly, stuck is up here and stuck is if you're not doing anything. If you're still showing up for your business, if you're still posting, if you're still doing host to post, if you're still doing personal development and growing your network, you're not stuck, you're just planting. And I think so many times we're quick to label a season of our business as stuck or as discouraged or maybe even going downhill. But the truth is, if you are still showing up for your business, you are still growing in one way or another. It might not be in enrollments like you would like it to be, but you're growing here, you're growing in personal development, you're growing in leadership skills that you're going to need to have. Any valley I've ever seen in my business, I can look back on now and be like, I had to go through that so that I could be this leader to this person on my team now. And again, we don't always get to see what it looks like a couple years down the road, but now that I have been a triple that sat at triple for a couple of years, I know Courtney and I talked about like my journey and her journey and being so done at the rank that you're at, and I've been there. And so now I can relate to so many people on my team because I've already walked that road. So that's just another perspective of being stuck for you guys. And I would stop speaking that over you, and I would stop speaking that over your business. And the same thing goes for, we have a lot of people on our team like host to post isn't working for me right now, or XYZ isn't working for me right now. Stop speaking that stuff out loud over your business. It's not going to work for you. If there is one person that is killing it with host to post, then there's no reason you can't be killing it with host to post. It is all a mindset. It's all a mindset, and it's all a numbers game. Every part of this business is a numbers game. So if you want to increase your numbers, or if you want to increase your enrollments, you've got to increase your numbers with absolutely every part of this business. And along with that, something I often tell my team is that obviously, I'm so sorry. I feel so terrible that she is being so crazy. And I'm like sweating because I like feel so uncomfortable with you guys all being on here and being like, oh my gosh, get your child to calm down.
You're so fun. I don't think anybody is thinking that at all. We're all like, yes, just keep talking. It's fine, baby. We don't
I'm like, where is my husband? 10 minutes late. Okay. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about is, you guys, we have this. I just feel like you guys can't hear me. Okay. This is like the messiest Zoom I've ever done in my entire life.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we can still hear you perfectly.
Okay. Well, that's good. This makes me feel better because I'm like, I feel like I'm just being drowned out by a crowd.
No, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay. So anyways, we all have this list of things that we do for our business every single day, right? Like whether you follow a 6 list or a KPI tracker, or you have non-negotiables, however you guys run your team or however you run your specific business. And so what I see a lot of people do, they say, I want to go emerald, I want to go diamond, I want to go ambassador, whatever your goal is. But they have a but. There's like an asterisk of like, but I'm not good at this, and I won't do this, and I don't want to do TikTok because that's not my personality, and host to post doesn't work for me. And we have this list of things that like we're not going to do, or we're not willing to do, or we think that we're not good at, or whatever. If you guys want to reach whatever goal it's that you've said that you want to reach in 2021, that list of things you are not willing to do has to get really small. Oh, we've got relief. And so I hope that makes sense, but whatever those things are that you're saying, again, aren't working for you, things you're not willing to do, that has to get so small. You have to be willing to do the things that other people are doing that are having the success that you want to have. So no more saying, I'm not going to do that, or that doesn't work for me. Again, we're not going to speak those things out over our business. 2 other main things that I really wanted you guys to hear tonight, and something that I think my team really needed last night. was that you have to stop focusing so much on the bonuses in the ranks. We have to get out of bonus mindset. Like, you guys, they're there. It's awesome. It's incredible that our company is debt free and they can offer those types of bonuses, but it's a bonus, which is icing on the cake of a compensation plan that is already incredible. And something that one of my leaders said at conference has stuck with me, and I think you guys will appreciate it. She said that working towards a bonus, having that goal of getting the emerald bonus or diamond bonus or whatever goal is out there for you to grab is fine. You should chase after those things. You should run after them. You can be excited and inspired by those bonuses as long as quitting is off the table. You can race after whatever goal you want in this business as long as quitting is off the table, because I see it happen far too often. People get so short-sighted on some of these bonuses that they forget why they were here in the first place. And a lot of you guys, and you can drop a 2 in the chat, did you join because there was some sort of crazy bonus? Because a lot of us had no idea what those even meant. Even if we saw someone talking about us, we didn't expect to get it. We didn't know how to get it. So very few people join for the business a bonus. So why would you quit over a bonus? Why would you slow down because of a bonus? I saw it happen last month. I saw some people miss a goal, and then it took them 3 weeks to pick themselves back up and start working again. And if that's you tonight, I want you to hear, you got to let it go. The last 3 weeks are gone. You got to give yourself a little bit of grace, give yourself forgiveness. All you can control is what you do from here on out. But for the rest of the year, let's think longer term. Okay. Chase the bonus if you want to, if that's something that motivates you, but don't get so hung up on it that that's the only thing you're looking at. Because you guys, I didn't earn a bonus until I went presidential, which was like 5 years into my business. And I was a top earner before I had any bonuses on my check. It's just icing on the cake. So don't get hung up on the bonuses. Okay. And then the other thing I also wanted to share along those lines is make sure that you are cheering on your sidelines, that you are plugged into your team page, but also you have to be really careful of comparison in this season, because there are other people are going to hit promotions. You're probably seeing them all over your team and all over your newsfeed. All of these people are hitting promotions that maybe you want to hit and you're not there yet. You have to be really careful that you are using those promotions as inspiration and not as a reason for you to take a step back. And I know, again, this is a time of year that people really struggle with this. I use it as inspiration. You guys, when I see someone that is promoting, I go to their page and I creep on like 20 of their posts and I save them for later, because I want the same kind of urgency that they have in their business right now. I want that urgency in my business. And so use those people as inspiration. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes in their business. You don't know how hard they've been working behind the scenes. You don't know how long they've been planting seeds. You don't know how big their network was when they joined. So you cannot compare your journey. It is not apples to apples. I have girls on my team that join with 3,000 Facebook friends, and I have people that join with 100. Okay. The girl with 100, she can go all the way to ambassador. No doubt in my head. Is the person with 3,000 friends going to have an easier time getting her first 6 loyals faster? Probably. Is she going to have an easier time getting host to post up? Probably. But that doesn't mean the girl with 100 Facebook friends isn't going to get there. But you have to recognize that we all start at a different place, and it does you no good to feel defeated by someone else's success. Trust me, 9 years in, you guys, there's plenty of room for all of you to be successful. So use it as motivation. And I always like to share this part of my story because I think people find it pretty fascinating that it took me 7 years to go ambassador. Okay, 7 years. I would do it again in a heartbeat, even if it took me 14. Okay, there's no other job that would ever give me this freedom and that type of income. But you know how long it took my sponsor to go ambassador? 7 months. 7 months she went ambassador, and I went in 7 years. She is still the fastest person to ever go ambassador in this business. I could have watched her go ambassador and said, well, I've been in 7 months and I'm not ambassador, so I guess I'm no good at this business. I guess I can't do it. I could have looked up at 5 years when I still hadn't gone presidential and thought, okay, 5 years in, like, she's still ambassador, like something's wrong with me. But I didn't, because guess what? My sponsor owned a small business when she started. She had a huge network. She was older than me. She was a mom. She had kids. I was single, young, had no business experience, had a very small friends list, didn't have an Instagram or any of these other things. So I was realistic, and I knew I had a lot of growing up to do before I was ever going to be the type of person that could lead the type of team that was going to get to ambassador. So just keep that in mind, you guys. You can use comparison or you can use other people as inspiration, but as soon as you start feeling defeated, it's time to stop scrolling on social media and it's time to start working. There are seasons of my business where I've had to unfollow just to clear up my newsfeed because I mentally couldn't take it, and that's okay too. But you have to recognize that that's something you're struggling with, and then you've got to get to work. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm rambling a lot. I don't know if there's any questions in the chat, or if you have any questions, I can keep just talking if you want.
You're good. I love that you shared that because it took me it took me 2 years to go Ruby. And then within like 4 months, I was double. And I just love that people share that because you never know when your time is coming. Like I've been at double for 2.5 years now. Do I want to be triple? Yes. But I know my time is coming. I've never been one to put a timeline on my success where I'm like, okay, if I don't go triple by my 5-year anniversary, I'm just done. Like you can't have that mentality. So I love that you shared that. But I have a couple questions, but if there's other things you wanted to share, because I know you took some notes, we'll go to that and we'll finish with questions at the end.
Yeah. So one of the other things that we talk a lot about on our team is having a measure of success, because every season of your business is going to look a little bit different. And so, of course, like right now, I had a baby 3 weeks ago. I have a toddler. I'm in a totally different season than I was even just a few months ago. And so I want to encourage you, let's drop a 3 in the chat if you have some sort of life going on, whether it's pregnancy or whatever loss. It could be job, it could be just like craziness happening in your family, it could be moving across the country. Drop a 3, because I guarantee you probably we're going to get 100% of 3s in the chat. We've all got something going on, right? So you can use that as an excuse to not work your business, or you can pivot and we can find a new way to find success in the season that you're in. And so what I mean by finding a measure of success is that, there are times in my business where getting the steps to success done 3 times in a month, like that has to happen. There are other times in my business where I'm like, can I just get a loyal? I will be so happy to have a loyal this week. Like, what is happening? Okay. And it might be like there are seasons of my business where I've got to get 10 hosts to post up a day. And then there are other times where I have to be proud of myself if I get 5 hosts to post up every day. And of course, when you're pushing for a promotion, that measure of success needs to be a little bit higher. But when you're in a season of needing to give yourself a little bit of grace, it doesn't mean you just totally back away from the business and you come back when life gets better or gets less busy, because that never happens, right? Life never gets less busy. It just gives you something else. So you have to change your measure of success. So that means sitting down and really thinking about the list of things that you could get done on a daily basis where you could go to bed and feel good about what you accomplished that day in the season that you're in. So, everyone's is going to look a little bit different, but for example, it would be like the amount of host to post you're going to get up, the amount of follow-ups you're going to get up, how many times you're going to be posting, checking in with your sponsor. It might be a certain goal that you have, promotion or volume wise, but you have to define what that is in the season and that you're in, because the worst thing that you can do is always keep that measure of success the same. And then you hit a hard season of life and you feel like you're failing every single day because that makes the business no fun. So if you're in a place of you're just relaunching your business, or maybe you've taken a few weeks off and you're feeling defeated getting going again, change your measure of success, drop your numbers a little bit lower. And hopefully Courtney doesn't kill me for saying that. I know she probably wants you all to like do all the numbers and get all the enrollments and host to post, but it's much better for you to show up every day for your business and do something small and work your way back up than to feel like you're failing every single day. Because when you feel that way and the fun is taken out of the business, you're not going to show up for that much longer anyways. So truly, you guys know this, but everything we do in this business is so easy. If you guys use the Boards app or a Word board, you guys probably have a team page and a team chat. You probably have story chats. Like you probably have everything that you could probably ever need at your fingertips to make you run this business so quickly and efficiently, no matter what schedule you have. The business is truly simple. We grow our network. We find people that want to try the products. We find people that want to try the products and make extra money. It's so easy though. It's easy not to do. And that's what also happens to a lot of people when life happens, is that we lose discipline. We lose the motivation to get up and do those things every day. You have to show up and do the things even when you're not motivated. Okay. Drop a 5 in the chat if you're motivated every single day to work your business. I saw a message and I was like, wow, okay, we got one. Nope, I'm seeing no fives. None of us are ever motivated to work our business every day. You have to be disciplined, and that is the hardest part of this business. And so I remember being at a training a long time ago and someone saying the business is easy, but it's also so easy that it's easy not to do. Those little things that feel like they don't add up, the few host to posts getting up, the posting on your story, the follow up, all of that stuff, it feels like maybe it's not enough to get you to where you're going. It's so easy to not to do. It's so easy to push off to another day, and that's why you guys aren't getting to the goals that you want to get to. Is because you're putting everything off for another day, which turns into 2 days, which turns into 3 days, and then guess what? Your team is following your lead, and they're taking 2 days or 3 days to do the things that they said they were going to do to reach the goals that they said they wanted to hit, and then everyone is running in circles over and over and over again and not seeing progress. So it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And if you guys want to be successful in this business, you have to show up and do the things that a lot of people aren't willing to do. And it's not hard. You're not going to be like out in a field sweating and like doing all this hard manual labor. You just have to show up for your goals. You might be sweating if you have a tiny baby that's crying through 15 minutes of a Zoom, but you won't be like actually physically tired. The business is easy. It's simple. And you guys have to believe that. It will also change the way you recruit distributors. When you truly believe this business can be fit around any schedule, that it's so simple, that it's so easy for people to learn, you will start recruiting way more distributors too, because it will come off that way when you're talking to them. You will be so passionate about how simple this business is, because it truly is. Any new distributor that ever joins me, I tell them, look, the business is super simple. If you will give me 3 weeks to be super overwhelmed, we will get you organized, and then you will be able to work this business around any schedule you ever have. It'll be so repetitive, but you got to give me a couple weeks to just feel a little bit overwhelmed. And so I prepare people with the fact that it's so simple, but they still have to take the time to learn it. So I'm making sure I didn't leave anything off my notes. Okay. Do you have a question or two? I know I have to get off in a few minutes.
First off, I don't know why I've never thought of like you're saying your measures of success, because I'm like, I was talking to you about this a couple weeks ago. My first couple months of pregnancy were rough, y'all. Like they were rough, and I kept trying to hold myself to my 100% standard, and every day I failed, and I was like, well, here's another day, and then every day I'd wake up and be like, well, guess who's gonna fail again? Me. Because I was trying to tell myself to get up 20 host to post when I didn't even want to get out of bed. So I love that. I've never thought of that. So no, I was not mad that you said that. I'm like, that's genius, because every life season has a different thing. So the only 2 questions that I have for you. One, do you have any end of month promotion tips? Because there are a couple people that are on that I know are on that are like, I'm close-ish to a promotion, not where it's close, where it's like, oh, it's literally just like 100% done. I'm not even worried about it, but it's like, I'm close, but I'm also not sure if I can do it. So if you have any stories of inspiration of like big numbers you've seen come in, and then any tips you have for that.
Okay, so I really love end of month, and I love seeing it through the eyes of someone that maybe hasn't promoted before, or maybe is newer to the industry, or has never worked through this season before. I would love to know how many of you guys have been in for like less than a year, or a year or less. Because even if you've been in this business for a year, you guys, you are just now experienced this season for the first time with experience. The first time you went through this season, you were a newbie. So now you're experiencing it for the first time. But a lot of you guys probably haven't seen the kind of magic that can happen at end of month. And I'll have people, it's so funny because the longer you're in and the more stories you've seen and the more people on your team that you have promoted, you'll look at some of these numbers like, oh yeah, you got that, no big deal. And like people will tell me, hey, I'm 2,000 away from diamond. And I'm like, 2,000? We still have a week left. It's happening. And then I'll have other people that are like, I'm 400 away from ruby. There's no way. And I'm like, that girl's going to get 2,000 to go diamond. You can definitely get 400 to get ruby, but your perspective changes the longer you're in, and the confidence that you have, because you'll start seeing those crazy numbers and what people are able to pull off when they commit to it. So the first thing I want to tell you guys, if you're someone that's like, maybe kind of, if all the stars align, I might be able to hit this promotion, you've got to just go ahead and claim it. You've got to start branding it on social media. If you haven't been already, saying how many orders you are away from. You've got to get so bold, so raw, so real. You know, if you don't want to go live on Facebook, record a video in your story. People need to hear from you. They need to know what it's attached to. So not just the fact that you're going diamond. People don't know what that means, but what will this promotion mean for your family? I remember the month I was going ambassador, I was 9 months pregnant, and I was messaging everyone saying like, I'm pushing for this huge goal before my baby's born next month. Like, would you be willing to throw up a post for me? Like, you will pull out all the stops once you make the commitment to that goal. And here's the deal. I know a lot of people are scared to do this because they're scared that they're not going to hit the goal. And like, what then? What do I do if I've already messaged all these people and asked all these favors and I look up and I don't hit it? Guess what? You're so much closer to hitting it next month because the work you did this month, and truly, people don't follow you that closely. I hate to break it to you. People want to see you win, but they don't see all your posts. They really aren't like following your story that closely for the most part. And so let yourself off the hook a little bit. Some people are going to support you in ways that you never imagined because you got so raw and real about it. And the truth is, if you have to make a post on the first that's like, we pushed so hard and I'm so proud of my team and we fell short, but XYZ, we're going for it again this month, people love that. People love the fact that you are sticking with it, even though you missed a goal. And guess what? That also shows your team and your potential distributors that it's okay to put a huge goal out there and miss it. Because you're going to have people watching your page that are potential distributors that might join your business, and they're going to remember the fact that you have made posts like that, that you've pushed for huge goals and you've missed them. And guess what? When they miss their first huge goal, they're not going to quit. They're going to say, oh, I saw Liz do that. I saw Nicole go through that. And we're going to just keep chugging along. And so don't be afraid to be so loud and bold about the goal that you have. Figure out numbers wise exactly how many orders it's going to take and start talking about it. Do more host to post than you've ever had in your entire life. Because either way, again, you're still going to be so much better off next month to hit that goal, even if you miss it this month. And so, and the truth is, honestly, you've got to work end of month like it's happening at some point. Otherwise, it never will happen. I always tell my team that I'm like, you can't not work end of month. Even if you're not going for a promotion, you don't go to bed early on the last day of the month, because 1 month, it's going to be the month that you're promoting. And you're going to want your team to stay up late and push hard for your promotion. So you've got to continue to show up every single month like you are pushing for a promotion. And for those of you that aren't pushing for a specific promotion, or maybe you're just pushing to re-rank. And I know sometimes that feels different too, right? Like it's hard to be really loud about a promotion you've already hit that you're trying to get back to. People don't know the ranks. People don't know that stuff. They just know you have a huge goal to hit, and you've got to talk about that goal. And again, attach it to something personal, whether it's paying off debt or bringing your husband home or anything small or big in between. But be loud about that. And it's okay, again, if you're pushing for a re-rank, it's still important to push just as hard as you did the first time around, because you're never going to get back to the next step and to set the new goal if you don't ever work like this is it, that this is the month that it's going to happen. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. I can give some more like tangible tips too, though.
Yeah, if you have any specific tips, I just love that you talked about the mindset thing of it, because I tell my team all the time, and they probably hate that I say it all the time, but the month that I was going double, the last day of the month, we woke up, I had one worker on my team that was actively doing anything, and we needed 3,000 with no customers ready to go. Like, we weren't waiting on anyone's orders that were like, oh yeah, I get paid Sunday, I'll order. No, y'all, we had nothing. The team was sick of me because I messaged them all month because I was like, we're going double. And I had one person working, but in my head, I knew it was done. And orders just started coming in from everywhere. So it's just a mindset thing. If you tell yourself, oh my God, I'm 3,000 from Diamond, that's it, I'm so doing this, it's going to be done. But if you're like, oh my God, I'm still 500 from Diamond, there's no freaking way, then you're not going to get it done. So I love that you talked about the mindset part of it. So yeah, if you have any specific tips that you've given to people to like help them bring in that extra volume, share those.
Obviously, you can use Connect, message all of your existing customers, tell them you're pushing for a huge promotion. That's a given. But as far as, and I can send you this message later tonight, but we have a message that works really well for people that have hosted a post for us in the past, reaching out to them saying, you know, you've been so sweet to help me in the past by posting on your wall for me. I'm going to be bold and ask you a quick favor. I'm looking, you know, just kind of a product tester message, but we've used that a lot. Again, it's really, really important that you tie your goal or your promotion or your rank or whatever you're going after to something personal, and always attaching that to the message that you're sending out. But we do that a lot. So anyone that's ever hosted a post for us, and then on our team, I don't know if you guys do this, but we boost posts like crazy people. So we save any like weight loss post, hair, skin, and nail post, any like product post specifically. We save those to a collection, just like you guys probably do with a host of posts. So I have a gummies album, I have a weight loss album, I have a coffee album, all of posts that I have made on my wall. And so a few times a week, I'll be like, okay, I'm doing gummies, and I'll sit down and I'll take 15 minutes and I'll post a before and after picture of gummies on every single past post that I've made about gummies. And those things start circulating on your newsfeed again. And people that have commented on them start seeing them circulate in their newsfeed again. We almost always get customers that way from boosting posts by doing those on power hours. So get organized, scroll back through your page, save your post to a collection. But any weight loss, TFX, all of those, they're really, really popular to get some last minute orders in. You don't have to post or boost with a before and after. You could just say, 3 spots left, or, with gummies, I went through yesterday and was like, gummies are about to sell out on all of them. And I signed 4 customers just from boosting old posts. So if you don't do that, I highly recommend it, and make it a part of your like weekly to-do list. You don't have to do it every single day, but probably a few days a week. And I just pick one product. So like tonight, I might go through and boost hair, skin, and nails with all hair, skin, and nail photos. So
oh my gosh,
that would be my last little tip.
I don't know why I've never thought of doing that, but you said that, I'm like, okay, that makes so much sense, because I've done that to other people's host posts,
Yep.
but I've never done it to my own. I'm like, okay,
Do it
clearly.
to your own, especially if you've ever had anyone that's gotten a bunch of comments, even if it's you guys commenting on each other's, but it'll boost it. Just like I do it all the time with my memories on Facebook. Like if I have once you've been in for as long as I have been, I have 9 years of posts. So every day I wake up and I've got like several to choose from. If I have a good post, I'll boost it. People will start commenting on posts from like 2016 I made, saying they want whatever wraps or something, and I'm like, I made that like sometimes I don't even have to post because I've boosted old posts, and now those are actually going on my news feed. So I would definitely start utilizing that.
I love that. Okay, so last thing, because I know you have another Zoom in like 8 minutes, but if you want to share, like, were there any specific books, podcasts, anything that you listened to, read, or did to help you push through being at a rink? Like, so I know you were at triple for a while and press for a while. I've been at double for a while, and I know there are a lot of people on. Put a 2 in the chat if you've been at your rank for more than 3 months and you're like, all right, let's move. So just anything that you did to help yourself like get over that hump.
I mean, honestly, any and all personal development is going to help you jump out of that funk. It's the lack of personal development that will guarantee that you stay stuck. I don't know if you guys have read Build to Last. That's a really good one. We did a book club on our team with that one. That's actually more recent for me, so I wasn't even in a stuck period, but it's really, really good, like industry wide for what we do, to give you that mindset of what it really looks like. I mean, I listen to the Pam Souter podcast like a crazy person, getting on Zooms, obviously. Like I learned a lot of this business, you guys, from YouTube and just following, like finding leaders and just like diving into anything that I could possibly find. I don't even know if podcasts existed when I joined this business. Maybe they did. But anything Pam Souter, the Craig Groeschel podcast is a really good one, especially for those of you that have active teams that are working, because it's a good leadership podcast. The Crazy Faith sermon series, if you guys haven't watched that, it's amazing. I would definitely do that. Get on YouTube and watch that. But there's really no right or wrong personal development. The only wrong personal development is not doing it at all. It's so crucial, especially in seasons of your business where you feel stuck.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you so much for taking time tonight to do that. You are amazing. Put a 2 in the chat. I don't know what number, I just pick random ones. Put a 2 in the chat if you got anything at all from this Zoom, because y'all, this was so good. I'm going to put this up on YouTube tonight, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.